on the ball today. That's fun. Alright. So yeah, we are going to be doing the usual Explorer Best of 3 ranked. It's a new season started recently, so that's fun. Back down to gold. Alright, let's see here. We get... these are the hands. 2 cantrips. Bunch of removal, some Pheonixes. Seems a bit sketch with 1 land. This hand, on the other hand, seems great. I'm going to bin this Spell Pierce, since it's more likely to not do anything. They're more likely to be a creature deck than, like, something where Spell Pierce is good. The opponent is thinking. Opponent is doing some thinking. They might not be here. Yep, looks like our opponent has decided not to show up. I'm so glad. Oh, they're here. They made it in the nick of time, or they're roping from turn 1. If they are roping from turn 1, boy, we're gonna have a problem. I'm just gonna kill the tiny bones. I don't really know what they're trying to cook with that, but I'd rather them not. I don't know. I'd rather them not do whatever it is they want to do with it. Alright, there goes my treasure cruise. Right on time, Picklock Prankster. Normally when I say that it's ironic, but this time, no, it's actually right on time. Oh, and they've conceded. Okay. They've conceded the game, but not the match. So they played a Watery Grave. So I guess I take in Mystic Disputes. And man, I don't know. Like, what are you supposed to do in this situation? Trim a null, maybe? And 2 sleight of hands? I often find myself trimming 2 sleight of hands. I don't know if it's right or not, but it often seems necessary to get the numbers to work. Alright. Mulligan a first hand. Keep a second. We can discard one of the 3 opts, I guess. Do not need 3 of those. 2 is just fine. Alright, turn 1, Shock in a Watery Grave. I'm going to play Ship and Reef and pass. Alright, Thieves Guild Enforcer. So they are rogues then. Alright, they've put a Pheonix into the bin for me, which is very kind of them. And then that just gets marginally bigger if they mill me enough. I don't think I want to... I don't think I want to opt now. I think I want to save them for after the artist's talent. So even if they counter this, I can do 3 spells next turn. I could do opt, Lightning Axe, or Flood Maw and get my Pheonix back. And this deck seems awful against me. Because they just... they just put my stuff in the graveyard for me. Mill another Pheonix? Mill another Pheonix? It would be real cool. Nope, didn't mill another Pheonix. Alright. Well, I'm going to consider, because that's better than opt. I might... Yeah. I'm probably going to Fiery Impulse instead of Lightning Axe. That's just more efficient. Alright, but now that I have a second Pheonix, I'm absolutely going to Lightning Axe to put that away. So I've cast 3 spells this turn. They can counter this Lightning Axe, and it's like kinda good for them. But not hugely. Alright. Their guys phase out. My guys come back. Alright, no, they have a main deck Cling to Dust. And with that, I think I have to stay on the defensive. I need to either trade my Pheonix, which is basically free, or force them to do something about it. Alright, so they did get in there. Good news is they are out of gas. Meanwhile, I just hit a Treasure Cruise. 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that, yeah. It's understandable. It's kind of tough to come back from there. Their deck really just plays right into my hands. And one Cling to Dust. Oh, I guess that was game 2, wasn't it? I forgot there was the game 1, which didn't really happen. Yeah, one Cling to Dust is not gonna do it. You really need like a Leyline of the Void, or Unlicensed Hearse is fine. But even then, like, it doesn't stop the Treasure Cruises. Alright. This time we have 2 cantrips, 2 removal spells. Easy keep. And they're going to be Yorion, Bring to Niv, which my deck is completely abysmal against. So I don't love that. I think I checked the stats earlier, and my matchup against this deck is literally like 20%. Like, it's bad, bad. Alright, we get a Pheonix. We get a Treasure Cruise. So that's something. But we can't play the Treasure Cruise. So we're just going to run out the Picklock Prankster. And I guess now they are 1 turn off from Bring to Light. So they can do it next turn. Yep. Well... Well, shoot. Alright, I guess this is technically a second spell. Absolutely wonderful. And I have 8 cards in the bin, 2 of which are Phoenixes. So if I tap out and pay 2 mana for this Treasure Cruise, which isn't ideal, but it will let me get both of my Phoenixes back. I think I have to do that. I just need the pressure. Alright. Now this is the part of the game where they gain like 5 life off of Ancient Cornucopia, hitting a Izzet Reborn, and I lose. Alright, they're shocking themselves. They're casting Bring to Light. Alright, unless they're getting a Sunfall. Okay. This is fine. Yeah, the game's over. Like, I can cast a bunch of cantrips and try to find more stuff, but they're probably gonna, yep, Izzet Reborn. Yeah, I can never beat them gaining 5 life here and drawing like 10 cards. This matchup is just basically unwinnable. So I bring in the counter spells. I bring out the burn spells because they're like technically can hit something. By the time the burn spells are hitting things, the game is over. And then I really don't like this particular sideboarding layout. Maybe if I do that, I guess that's somewhat better. At least I can see all of my cards at once. So I guess this is fine. I have the additional threats. I have the counter magic. Problem is, like, my deck really wants me to tap out a lot to cast a bunch of cantrips, and holding up counter magic is not always the easiest thing to do. I guess this is fine. We're gonna have Third Path Iconoclast, Sleight of Hand afterwards, try to pop off and run him down. I think I just have to hope they don't have removal. Like, if I wait to try to play around removal, it's just so much less fast. Alright, and they have Leyline Binding. Well, I can get a Prophytic Memory down, draw a card. So now I can Spell Pierce something and use Opt. Alright, there goes my Prophytic Memory. Yeah, I mean, this matchup is just like, they probably have like 20 main deck cards that shut down what I'm trying to do. It's like real bad. Alright, up the Beanstalk. I guess I'll Spell Pierce that, because I gotta Spell Pierce something, but it doesn't even matter that much. Like, they're gonna outvalue me with or without up the Beanstalk. There goes my Crackling Drake. There's a Pheonix. I guess we just run that out and then die to a Bring to Light. But if I don't run it out, I have no clock at all. Yep, Bring to Light is about to hit. Because they have done 0 selection, so they're guaranteed to have it. Oh, what a surprise! Let's see what they get. Yep. Izzet Reborn. And without Crackling Drake and Prophetic Memory, like a 6/6 just beats me. Just an absolutely atrocious matchup. The win rate against that deck continues to plummet. I don't even know like what sideboard cards I could even have against it. Like, alright. No lander, mulligan it. This hand is quite good. I'll get rid of one of the basic islands, keep the other. Alright. We're going to Artist's Talent, and the next turn we have a billion looks at a third land and a Pheonix. Alright, cool. Consider. Love a Treasure Cruise. It's obviously for later, but still extraordinarily good. Don't need a fourth land, I'll find it naturally. I guess Picklock Prankster is better than Sleight of Hand most of the time. This graveyard looking like 5. I think we get rid of the land drop again. So they're Grixis. They played their first land and I assumed they were just Rakdos mid-range because it's super popular, but they look like they're Grixis Control instead. I assume Control. Yeah, that looks like the sort of thing a Grixis Control deck would play. Yep, alright. Grixis Fires of Invention. Understood. Well, Fiery Impulse is going to be bad. And we Treasure Cruise. So let's try to kill them very quickly. There's 2 Phoenixes, but I do not have any cantrips to put them in the bin that I can cast this turn. So I guess that'll be next turn. Next turn I can Picklock Prankster into Picklock Prankster. Alright, there's the Fires and Nicol Bolas. Well, I'm going to simply discard my Arclight Phoenix. Alright, so I can free the Fey Lightning Axe, Sleight of Hand as my 3 spells. Get Phoenixes in, I guess, grab and annul. Lightning Axe, the Nicol Bolas, discard an additional land drop. Keep these. Picklock Prankster. Grab another Picklock Prankster. So the good news is that they're dead on board. The bad news is they are untapping with Fires of Invention, which means they probably have like Deadly Cover-Up or something silly. They probably have something silly that completely wrecks me here. Nicol Bolas Dragon God. That doesn't do it on its own. Scarab God doesn't do it. That's their 2 spells. So they can destroy one of my Phoenixes. But that's fine. I will bring it back. Oh no, they are bringing it back. On their side. Alright. That, I guess, does pose a bit of a problem for me. But if I can just find a Flood Maw, then it's all over. I'm just going to try to get as many looks at a Flood Maw as possible. Lightning Axe works too. Alright. Game 1. Always a bit of a freebie against control decks. They don't have their graveyard hate in. So obviously we're going to bring out our removal spells. They have Scarab God, but like we can't permanently get rid of Scarab God. Seems bad. Let's bring in Mystic Dispute. Negate, obviously. Anti-graveyard stuff. Floodmaw seems good here. Like, bounce a Planeswalker, force them to spend mana on it. Bounce Fires of Invention, force them to spend one of their 2 spells on it. I might consider bringing in Brazen Borrower as well, but I just don't really have super obvious cuts for it. Alright, I mean, this isn't a very fast hand, which is a shame because you kind of need very fast hands against the control decks, but it's also completely acceptable. We're going to fire off our cantrips, try to find stuff. I don't need another Spell Pierce, probably. I will shock that in. And so now I have Negate up, as well as Picklock Prankster. Unholy Annex is worth Spell Piercing. So they are sort of partially Grixis demons. Interesting. We pass again with Picklock Prankster and Negate. And we grab another Picklock Prankster. And I think we try to force Prophetic Memory in. It hits play. Does their Grixis deck have a good way of beating an enchantment? I guess their plan is just to remove all of my creatures. Which very well could work. But we are just going to free the Fae again. They've missed a land drop. That's pretty exciting for me. So I'm going to run out of Picklock Prankster. And just pass with Negate available. Alright, they can destroy a creature. That's fine. Alright, they play the backside of Murderous Rider, which I guess is a little annoying. It's not a very big deal. Importantly, they have tapped out, so this is a great window to slam Treasure Cruise. And third path Iconoclast. So I have a 5/4, and I have Counter Magic to back it up. They're still missing land drops. Unless they find it now. Nope, they are still missing land drops. Discard Farewell to hand size. Brutal. Alright, let's say Steam Vents, untapped, Pheonix, attack you for 8. Yep, I will negate their Go for the Throat. Yeah, that's an understandable concession. They missed a ton of land drops, like a ridiculous amount of land drops, really. And we were able to punish them for it. That's how it goes sometimes when you're playing Grixis Control. Sometimes you just stumble. And I countered their Unholy Annex, which would have almost certainly drawn them out of it at some point. Alright, let's see what our bronze opponent has for us. This hand is fine. Doesn't have the interaction I would hope. But maybe Fledmaw can do something. They're also pretty likely to find stuff. Heartfire Hero on 1A. Well, I'm just going to hold up Lightning Axe and into the Fledmaw. We are looking like we're about to be playing Izzet Control. They are Rakdos aggro, so we just need to not die, and then we'll win eventually somehow. Posture check. Remember, kids, don't slouch. It's bad for your back. Opponent, for a fast deck, sure is playing slow. Alright. Emberheart Challenger. Attack for 3. I am going to Lightning Axe the Emberheart Challenger, getting rid of one sleight of hand. So I take 1 this turn, and I can... I think I sleight of hand, grab a Consider, and have Fledmaw available next turn. It's just too risky to tap out for Artist's Talent. Screaming Nemesis is a problem. I think I'm going to deal with that problem by saying I'll deal with it tomorrow. So that can go back to their hand. I played that on the wrong color. I needed to play that on red so that I could Artist's Talent and Fiery Impulse. So if they just run out the Screaming Nemesis again, I think I will Impulse it. Just take the medicine now. So obviously this ends up the same as not burning it. I take 3, but now they don't have a Screaming Nemesis. Another Floodmaw is pretty cool. We'll play a land tapped so as not to lose unnecessary life, and hold up Floodmaw for a turn. We've certainly managed to hold them off from doing anything too scary. Alright. If they pump this, I can bounce it. Yep. Actually, I'll let this resolve, I guess. Alright. Picklock Prankster seems great as a blocker. So yeah, they can just replay that. But I think I'm going to do this main phase and then almost certainly just play out my 1-3 blocker. I have 2 copies of Treasure Cruise to refuel. So I just have to hope that 1-3 blocker is good enough. Alright, another Heart Fairy hero. This one's starting as a 2-2. They're hovering over my Picklock Prankster. And their Heartfire hero. Do they have like a fight spell or something? Reckless Rage. Alright, that's brutal. So I'm still only going to be taking 1 this turn. Okay, nope. Emberheart Challenger returns. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do a Treasure Cruise. See if we get anything better. Do I have room for double Treasure Cruise? Not really. The graveyard is not stocked enough for that. Alright, so they have that, which can give a thing +2/+0 and haste. Which means I think we have to wait and Fire Impulse whatever they target with it. Bad news is they sure do have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of power on the table at the moment. Alright, so I can kill the Emberheart Challenger. Discard the Spell Pierce, I guess. So now I'm only going to be taking 6 this turn, but they have 4 points of nonsense that if I kill it, it just deals damage to me anyway, so I'm probably dead here. Don't know what I'm looking for that could save me. Torch the Tower. Torch the Tower can kill a Heartfire hero, but exile it. So I guess we're not technically out of this, although it's very, very dicey. Put a Pheonix in the bin. Draw a bunch of cards. We have to bargain the Artist's Talent with that in order to kill the 3 toughness creature. So let's do our other spell first. This is not an ideal situation. Yep. And then we cast with Bargain, sack the Artist's Talent. So that gets exiled. And then I'm just going to play a blocker. get 3 Phoenixes back. So this is 9 power. So I think I can only attack with 2 of them in case they have a hasty threat. I want to have 2 blockers. Theoretically, if they do nothing, I can still kill them next turn. This is going to be a problem for getting my Phoenixes back, but they're probably fine as one-shots. Alright, what I want is more protection. A single Spell Pierce probably doesn't do it. I end up bricking on that. Well, I'm going to have to go for it. So if they can kill the Picklock Prankster... Alright, so that will kill my Picklock Prankster. It'll also kill their Etchings of Kamano. Which means they don't have a creature, which means they need a 3-power attacker this turn. Alright, that was terrifying, but we made it through. Let's see, what do we need here? We need all the removal. We need Fire Impulse to not take up the entire screen. Thank you. Annul is bad against them. Sleight of Hand is pretty bad against them. Just because it's sorcery speed, it means I can't hold stuff up. Prismari Command is, I guess, a burn spell. Third Path Iconoclast could generate some blockers. Plus this lets me turn the corner faster. I think I'll take it. This matchup is certainly not easy. Alright, well, we've got 2 burn spells in our opening hand. But we are playing against the aggro deck on the play. Which means, like, it's very bad. It's very, very hard to beat the aggro deck when they're on the play. They are thinking... Yeah, I mean... Mulligan decisions are one thing where, like... Mulliganing as an aggro deck is legitimately difficult. It's entirely reasonable for them to take a lot of time to do that. I'm going to kill their first threat, of course. Alright, they have a second threat. I probably shouldn't have passed there. I guess it's decently likely that they won't be able to play the card they get off of this. Alright, they're just running out Manifold Mouse. And Grafdigger's Cage. Okay. So that's all. I should have... Yeah. Although I think that they already played a land this turn, so we're fine. Alright, I would like for this Consider to hit another burn spell so I don't have to 2-for-1 myself here. But I am going to 2-for-1 myself here. Pheonix goes to the bin, and we'll find a way to win at some point. And we run out Artist's Talent and pass. Now the bad news is they still have a Manifold Mouse and an Urabrask's Forge. Yeah, I don't know how I beat that. Seems pretty good. So we're going to be taking 3 this turn and then more every turn afterward. I guess I can Picklock Prankster seems necessary to, like... Both of those cards seem critical, like Picklock Prankster as a 1/3 blocker, Treasure Cruise as a means of card advantage. Alright, Third Path Iconoclast is a long-term way, not this turn, but in the future. If they don't kill it immediately, then I can have infinite chump blockers for their forged tokens, which will help a bit. They look like they're looking at a Reckless Rage or something. Okay, Screaming Nemesis. Yep, no blocks. I'm just going to take a billion. And another one of those, huh? Well, I think I have to Treasure Cruise. Get rid of another Treasure Cruise, because I do not need 3 of these things. And I guess we can Flood Mod the Screaming Nemesis, or probably just best to Fire Impulse it immediately. But I think I've lost this game, just like pretty much at deck selection. It is very hopeless. Alright, well, I will get rid of the Screaming Nemesis for all the good that does me. And, yep. This is not good for me. Alright, well, I need something. Arclight Pheonix really isn't something. Alright, they're going to Reckless Rage in response. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm dead. So that deals 2. That deals 3. And then I can block the Double Striker, absorb 1, and go to 0. Yep. That figures. Alright, with Grafdigger's Cage and Urabrask's Forge, the Prismari commands need to come in and stop taking up the entire screen, please. Spell Pierce. I guess Spell Pierce is probably good. Like they want to curve out. I want to hold up mana. Propsydetic Memory is bad. I'm gonna win eventually. I don't need to win more. Arclight Pheonix even. Just cut one of those. 3 is still enough that I'll find one eventually. And if I'm winning, I can probably afford to take some time. Alright, this hand is great. This hand is all the interaction in the world. Just 4 pieces of no, you don't get to do the thing. And then we'll figure out a win once they're exhausted. Alright, so the bad news is we don't have any cantrips, and we're not going to be able to cast this Artist's Talent safely. The good news is we don't really need cantrips at the moment. Alright, opponent is thinking about their first turn. And Heartfire Hero. Yep, I'm just going to immediately kill that, take one. Alright, Picklock Prankster is great. It gives me something to do if I don't want to fire Impulse or Spell Pierce. Emberheart Challenger. I think we have to save the life at least. 2 points could absolutely end up mattering. I'm going to fire off an Opt Sorcery Speed to try to hit a land drop. Success. I think I'll play this on blue. I'm starting to run out of red spells. Now, it would be awkward if they hit a Screaming Nemesis here, because Lightning Axe would deal a lot. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to get rid of this Artist's Talent to kill their Emberheart Challenger. Well, more Lightning Axes. Not really what I need. I need to go up in cards. I need, like, a Treasure Cruise. Hopefully this Picklock Prankster will hit one. Claim is brutal. So that gets their guy back. I guess I'll free the Fae in attacks. Super annoying that they managed to play that around Spell Pierce. Alright, we completely bricked on a Picklock Prankster, which is, like, absolutely catastrophic. Alright, at least we get to hit... we get to at least do this. So they're not getting the Monstrous Rage. Well, play a land, play a 1/3. They have more Emberheart Challengers, just a seemingly endless supply of them. I'm going to take my block, save some life. They're going to play any spell, of course. Yep. It's still worth it, because I just don't want to take 6. Like, this means at least I'm only taking 3 this turn. Prismari Command deals 2 damage to any target. Blows up artifacts, but not enchantments. And I can't loot because I don't have any spells. Yeah, this Emberheart Challenger is gonna solo me, probably. Alright, so I could consider, or I could Prismari Command. Prismari Command gives me more looks, but is card negative. So I would draw 2 cards, go up to 4, discard 2, have 2 cards in hand. No, I would have 1 card in hand. I think I have to consider. Oh, that's awful. I think we hold that to discard with Prismari Command, I guess. But I would really, really love for them to have only lands in hand. But even then, Ramanop Ruins is devastating. They have claim to bring back a Heartfire hero and Fame to pump it up. Okay, well, I'll deal 2 damage to the Heartfire hero. And holy lands, Batman. That ain't it, Chief. That ain't it. So I'm going to 4 here. Still no answer to the challenger. Alright, and I'm just dead to a Carousel Sword. Got it. Oh, they just sort of had like the nut draw where, I mean, that was just 2 games in a row where they had exactly the thing to beat what I was doing, except it was a different thing both times. Brutal. Oh, we do another one. That matchup is hard. It's not hopeless. We have lots of cheap removal. Like, we almost got there. We got there game 1. But it's just so hard when, like, they can Urabrask's Forge you, and if you kill their stuff, they can claim to fame it, and then whoops, there's a Carousel Sword. Like, this hand is pretty bad. Yes, the first hand was like only relevant spell that I want to cast is like a single cantrip. This one has a Spell Pierce and a Fiery Impulse and a Treasure Cruise. So this is much better. I think we throw back the Pheonix. We can get to that later. It's important to just have our interaction available. Hello. Opponent is playing blue-black. Blue-black discard. Got it. Alright, well, I'm not going to spend a mana and Spell Pierce. I'm going to get rid of Fire Impulse. I don't think the discard deck also plays a huge amount of small creatures. Could be remembering that wrong, but that's what I think. I would love to Spell Pierce like a Waste Knot or something. That would be huge. Fear of Isolation. Alright. That's brutal. So I should have Spell Pierced the Hopeless Nightmare, and I should have got my Fiery Impulses in. Alright, so I just need to basically resolve a Treasure Cruise to put myself ahead. They could have Thought Seizes that could take my Treasure Cruise, but I think I have to risk it on the chance to get a Pheonix in play, because that, like, it's going to be hard to win without a Pheonix at some point, and I already have one on the bottom of my library from mulliganing. So if I put another one, alright. Yeah, Fear of Isolation, thank you, very cool. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Opponent is definitely doing some cool stuff. That's one spell. This is 2 spells. This is 3 spells. But yeah, my deck is kind of very good against them. Like, I haven't cast any spells. I haven't cast any creatures. I have a 3/2 in play, and I have 2 creatures in exile waiting to come in. I did have to tap out to get that, so they are going to get to do their silly stuff again. This Hopeless Nightmare has done a lot of work. Imagine if I had Spell Pierce this on turn 1 and then... Oh, that would have been fun. Alright, we're going to attack you for 3. Nowhere to run. Kills a thing. I could counter that, or I could just let it die and get my Pheonix back in the future, which seems better. I'm going to run out of 1/3 and leave Spell Pierce and Lightning Axe up. Alright, second Hopeless Nightmare. And we get to untap. Second Picklock Prankster. Still don't have a way of casting 3 instants and sorceries. I think I continue holding up Spell Pierce Lightning Axe. Castle Lochthwain draws them a card for basically free. Although they could have also scryed with Hopeless Nightmare, so it's not... I mean, it's definitely card advantage. It's not that much better than what they could have done without it. Looks like they're just passing. We've gone to second main phase. Now they've gone to my turn. Alright, so now I can play Artist's Talent. Which I guess I should have done first main phase in case they want to do a combat trick that I want to fight over, but I don't really want to fight over that. Alright, Artist's Talent. And I only have 1 red mana, so Lightning Axe is technically down. I don't expect it to matter. I haven't seen many big scary creatures. Alright. Absolutely not. I will Spell Pierce this twice if I have to. Just enough of that nonsense. So now I have 2 Phoenixes in the bin, and they run out of Meat Hook Massacre. Alright, well, I'm flooding. So I'm just going to level up Artist's Talent. Another Hopeless Nightmare takes my last card, which is a land, which is actually good for them because it means Artist's Talent can't do selection. Alright, we're going to have to run cantrips. So this is 1 spell. This is 2 spells. Treasure Cruise is absolutely fantastic. 5, 6. Oh, and it's discounted. Alright, so all their hard work getting rid of my cards has been undone. I get 2 guys back. I get to kill Liliana. And what now, discard deck? Now you're the one who's top decking. I've refueled. I have creatures in play. It seems pretty over. Alright, Fear of Isolation is a good draw. Another Phoenix is also a good draw. Notably, this didn't pick up the Meatball Massacre. So I'm going to put another Phoenix in the graveyard. Grab, doesn't really matter. Both of those are bad. I'm going to discard either of them. Discard Spire Bluff Canal. Alright, so we get the Opt and the Consider. Floodmaw is like uniquely terrible against them. Their entire deck is about bouncing their stuff. I have no interest in recycling any of their ETB triggers. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised they're not a Yorion deck. Seems like what I would do. Alright, so they kill one. They trade with another. They gain a couple of life. But 1-for-1ing with Pheonixes that just go to the graveyard is completely hopeless. You just can't be doing that. Alright. They're going to draw a card and lose a life. And then probably that's not flash, yeah. Alright, so they're dead to my Floodmaw and my 3 spells. Alright, so they have Fear of Isolation and this town as blue spells. So I'm going to take a Mystic Dispute. All their stuff is enchantments, so Annul is great. Negate is great. Brazen Borrower is terrible. They probably are going to bring in anti-graveyard stuff. So now I have a whole bunch of cards. Floodmaw is uniquely awful against them. Spell Pierce is fine. Lightning Axe didn't see any good hits for... Torch the Tower didn't see any good hits for... Like, there are only creatures like 3 drops. Or 3 toughness, specifically. And... they might have, like, discard specific stuff. Like, they might have a Shieldred. If they have a Shieldred, I'm cooked. But they might not. So, I don't know what they're doing. The deck is certainly very sweet. Alright, I mean, this is a hand of Magic cards. They're a discard deck. You never want to give them a free duress. So, like, just keep 7. Unless it's really bad. They say good game. Interesting. The endless question of opponent has said good game on turn 1. What do they mean by this? Are they cocky and think they've won? Or are they doomed? Alright, they have Waste Not. That's very good for them. So Artist Talent is going to sort of annihilate me. Well, I'm going to play out Prophetic Memory. So I think starting from now I want to... Alright, second Waste Not is terrifying. And a Thoughtseize. So they're going to get some zombies or some cards. Probably not 4 mana. Alright, they can't choose a land, obviously, with a Thoughtseize. Alright, well, I'm going to run out Picklock Prankster as a creature. And have Spell Pierce. Gyre Reach Sanitarium is disgusting. Storm Chaser's Talent is certainly fun. They get Prowess tokens. I guess I'll kill their Prowess token. And opt to draw a card, which I guess can be a land drop. That seems fine. Picklock Prankster is notably out of range of that enchantment that they used to deal 3. So, can you beat a 4 toughness creature? Each player draws a card and then discards a card. I think I'm happy without the Fiery Impulse. So they can draw infinite cards, obviously, and we're just gonna have to kill them with Picklock Prankster. We do have a game 3 if this goes very poorly. We also have 2 Spell Pierces, which is a lot of Spell Pierces. They have a Kalitas. Alright, so I could draw more cards. Is that a May? That is not a May. I think I might be cooking on something here. What if they mill themselves out? That would be funny. It sure would be funny if you milled yourself out, opponent. Oh, they get 4 mana. That's a lot of mana. This will take Iconoclast. And I attack you for 5. And what removal did they have? They had, what was it, Nowhere to Run, the enchantment that does -3/-3. They had Meat Hook Massacre. Did they have hard removal? I'm not sure if they did. So I think starting next turn I'm just going to be holding up Negate and Spell Pierce, and pretty much just not casting any spells for the rest of the game. If that fails, we'll try to get rid of their Kali to us and then mill them. We can draw a lot of cards and force them to draw even more cards. Alright, they have Fear of Isolation. Returning that guy. That's fine. That can be a chump blocker, of course. They have the mana to pay for Spell Pierce. Alright, so if I go Third Path Iconoclast into Fiery Impulse, then that's fine. I still have 2 mana for Negate. So this notably makes my Prankster 6 power. This card draw here makes my Prankster 6 power, which means that it's a 2-turn clock. And should I play the land out? I guess probably. So they can gain life with Kalitas attacks, but that seems bad for them. I'm absolutely going to counter anything that kills my Picklock Prankster. Nowhere to Run doesn't kill my Picklock Prankster, but probably buys them an additional turn off the clock. Yeah, that's fine though. So best draw in my deck is Treasure Cruise, of course. Second best would just be like Opt. So this could sacrifice... No, they don't even have another guy. That is prowess. Yeah, so this attack is probably just to gain life. Or they're trying to like trick me with a wrath. Alright, so that is another 3. So altogether that's 6 to the Picklock Prankster. So I guess this means they can gain life and not lose a Kalitas. Alright, Meathook Massacre, X equals 2. We held the negate for the opportune moment. And now they're tapped out. So I just need to not discard any land cards to give them anything to do. And GG. Exactly lethal. Alright, that was a fun game. Our backup plan is good. Like, you cannot just underestimate the power of like a giant random vigilance flyer backed up by counter magic. I mean, our backup planer is honestly very like Delver adjacent almost. Where we're just gonna attack you for, 4 or 5 a turn. And we're gonna counter everything you do that stops it. Alright, this is a lot of cantrips, 1 land. We're on the draw, which makes this better. I think we keep. We keep and we start Optin. I guess it's important enough that I might have wanted to main phase it before they could counterspell me, but alright, we do hit the second land. And it's maybe not ideal. We have 2 blue sources. Can't Artist Talent. Opponent is looking like blue-white control. Alright, Narset kills our deck, so we're going to counter that. And opt. I guess we take a 3rd blue mana. Well, this is starting to become a bit of a problem. So this Picklock Prankster, yep, classic, reveals 3 red sources. Alright, we do hit the red source. And I guess we'll run out Picklock Prankster as well. They're probably going to have... Alright, Get Lost. Get Lost is fine. I was expecting them to have Wandering Emperor end of turn. Alright, they do nothing and pass. I'm going to run out another Artist Talent. And a Sleight of Hand. So even if they counter this, I still get my selection. Alright, they're just going to Get Lost it in response. What if? Hear me out. Another one. I think I will start doing maps, I guess. Proph's Eidetic Memory is great. Love to see that. Alright, well, we're going to run out the one they know about first. Do I have Phoenixes in the bin? No. Alright, they let this resolve. They probably have more enchantment hate. I'm also going to run out the Artist Talent. So Explorers, put that card into your hand if it's a land. which isn't draw a card, so it won't trigger Prophytic Memory in a way that's helpful. So I'm going to Sleight of Hand instead, get an actual draw trigger. Torch the Tower and Floodmaw could be good against Planeswalkers. Fire Impulse is probably just completely dead. Pheonix is a much needed win condition. Alright, so they're going to have to deal with this Picklock Prankster at some point. But it's going to be hard. Dodges Wandering Emperor. Yep, there she is. Vigilance, very cool. And instant main phase Memory Deluge. Yeah, they're just looking for land drops. I would not at all be surprised for them to take land here. So we can torch the tower, kill the Wandering Emperor, Floodmaw the 2 tokens, get a Pheonix back. That's 1 token down. You even get a Spell Pierce for protection. And yeah, they're good with that. So they're obviously going to have infinite graveyard hate. Bring in that stuff. They are a blue-white control deck. So bring in the counter magic. Brazen Borrower even. And burn spells out. Torch the Tower can stay, I guess, simply because it hits Planeswalkers, which is relevant. Did they play enchantments? Doesn't look like it. Annul goes out. They have Narsets, which means Opt is the worst cantrip because it doesn't cantrip if the Narset is out, whereas Sleight of Hand does. I'm going to go like that. Alright. We have... this is fine. No cantrips, but the deck is full of them. Probably find them. Alright, so we go turn 1, Shockland. I think not. I think our life total isn't super relevant in the matchup. And I'm not going to play Iconoclast on 2. I might not even play it on 3. Sleight of Hand is good. I'm going to save that for post-Iconoclast. So now I could Iconoclast with Spell Pierce up. Or I could wait another turn, but I do need to get the show on the road. So I'm going to Iconoclast with Spell Pierce back up. Alright, it hits play. And we're just going to pass. Alright, they don't kill it on my end step, which is fantastic. So, although now they have enough mana that Spell Pierce might not save it. In fact, it probably won't. Alright, get lost. I will Spell Pierce just to get the 1/1 and use up the rest of their mana. Alright, now they are tapped out. I think I want to save Crackling Drake as like a grand finale. It's only a 1/4 right now. So I'm going to play a Pheonix and hit them for 4. So now they need a Sunfall. Right, Narset. Narset dies very easily to stuff I have in play. Yeah, so they -2, which probably is going to make it hard for them to save the Narset, especially with Negate. kill the Narset. Poke you for 1. Alright, Narset just instantly gone. Now, I have 4 mana worth... Alright, no, they just concede. So I was going to crack 1 map token, but if they're just going to concede, then I'm fine with that. Alright, keep on going. These quests sure are not going quickly. How am I supposed to complete the daily quests of killing opponent's creatures if my opponent plays a control deck? Answer me that, Magic the Gathering. Alright, waiting on an opponent. While we're waiting, if you're enjoying, make sure to follow. Oh, and they've showed up, so you get saved from the full follower request. Yep, this is fine. Got 2 lands, 2 cantrips. Lunarch Veteran. What on earth does Lunarch Veteran mean? Are they going to be Soul Sisters? Angels, I guess. Alright, I don't think I've ever played against... I don't think I've played against Angels. Maybe ever? Certainly not with this deck. So that could be interesting. Sort of lacking early removal, which is worrying. We're going to jam Artist Talent. Next turn we're going to try to get a Pheonix back. Righteous Valkyrie is bad news for me. Well, let's cast some cantrips. And kill a Giada. Get rid of Annul because it's probably not relevant. Now, unfortunately, we did not have the juice to kill the Righteous Valkyrie all at one time. Which means Pheonix is going to come back on defense. Now, Pheonix does make a decent blocker. Like, they can attack, I'll chump block, it'll come back next turn. Oh no! Second Righteous Valkyrie, huh? Alright, well, I'm going to block. Save me some life. I really need a Lightning Axe, like, yesterday. Alright, there's Lightning Axe. That's something. That's 1 Valkyrie down. Although I've bricked on getting my Phoenixes back. And they can probably find a way of gaining 1 life to give this the boost. I mean, literally any card, I think. Yep. So now that's a 4/6. I can't kill it ever. Yeah, there's no realistic way for me to, like, get through all of that. I'm gonna have to go to the next one. So Spell Pierce is bad. Annul is bad. Floodmaw is, like, kind of okay, I guess, ish. My deck just sort of seems bad against this. Like, I guess Anger of the Gods could get them early. Please stop being giant, thank you. Yep, I guess we're gonna do something like that, but first impressions of this matchup are that, like, they're just gonna play giant creatures outside of range of my removal and gain a bunch of life, and then, like, stabilize super easily and win. Well, I'll get a Prophetic Memory going, just so that I have it in play. They have a Giada, which I don't have an immediate answer to. And honestly, so many treasure cruises. Alright, well, I can't answer the Giada this turn. So that's bad. So they have 4 mana for Angels. And their Angels also have an additional 1/1 counter. Alright, Lunarch Veteran. Not the scariest card in their deck. Voice of the Blessed. Also not an Angel. But it is going to be a 3 toughness creature. So basically, I need Anger of the Gods at this exact moment. If Anger of the God comes off the top, and it does, then we're cooking with gas. Alright. So that is huge for me. The classic 3 for 1. But they have enough stuff to rebuild, almost certainly. Well, I'm going to Treasure Cruise this turn. Unless they give me something better to do. Lightning Axe. Kill the Voice of the Blessed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is what a game has to look like in order for me to win. Now, Prophetic Memory obviously doesn't see the Pheonix until it's too late. So we could just get our attack in for 3. Hopefully keep their life total from going too high. Essence Channeler is like another Ajani's Pridemate, but different. When it dies, it does stuff. All right, let's draw some cards. That sounds fun. I do like drawing a lot of cards when I have a Prophetic Memory in play. Anger the Gods seems like it's the wrong time for that. Lightning Axe is great, so I can kill that, discard a Pheonix. So yeah, it can put his counters on something, but it doesn't have any. And that time we managed to run over them, so that's great. Let's do that again. Everyone loves to hear a great comeback story. Never give up. Please don't follow this advice. Please concede when you're 99.8% chance to lose. Like, seriously, you will make the game much more enjoyable for yourself if you just concede when you've lost. Alright, no lander. 1 lander, but we have cantrips. An opponent is on the play, so I guess. Alright, Ajani's welcome. And we do hit the second land, so that's nice. I guess we take Floodmaw. It'll be really sad if I have to Floodmaw and Ajani's welcome. Alright, get rid of Giada immediately. And play a Steam Vents tapped. Don't think I would need to Flood Maw anything immediately. Righteous Valkyrie is the sort of thing that I would like to Flood Maw. Don't need to do it right this moment. I think I would like to do that as part... either in response to something like a Youthful Valkyrie. Yeah, I think this is a good time to do that. Just slow them down by a whole lot. Alright, now we have to cast 3 spells, which could be a bit dicey if the land situation doesn't improve. Alright, there's a land, and we also have a 3rd spell, so we're good to go here. I think we put the Picklock Prankster back. Anger the Gods is great, although probably not actually. Probably their stuff is going to be giant and live through anger. So at least we get this attack, which sets them back down to 20. We're keeping them not too high above their starting life total. Another Youthful Valkyrie. So yeah, now we're hitting the problem where they have a bunch of creatures. None of them die to Anger the Gods. I guess I play a Crackling Drake. Alright, Lightning Axe helps. Lightning Axe helps a lot. I have to Lightning Axe the Valkyrie, of course. Kaya's what? Top 7. Put up to 2 things with mana value 3 or less onto the battlefield. Alright, that's rude. I should have Lightning Axed in response to that. That was stupid. They're going to gain like 20 life off of this. Yeah, I should not have done that. Way too late for Anger the Gods, unfortunately. I don't know what our out is at this point. Yeah, there's no hope here. They're at 46. You can't kill them, realistically. Yeah. That deck seems like designed to beat mine. It's just exactly the sort of thing that I can't deal with. Giant flyers with lots of toughness and life gain to prevent racing. That deck seems much worse against like hard removal stuff. If you're playing a lot of like destroy target creature effects or like Sunfall, obviously, then Angels just folds. But my deck doesn't, so... Alright, we are playing against Rakdos aggro, as we tend to do. I'm going to play a tap land this turn. Just get that out of the way. Alright, Hardcast, Slickshot show off. And I can't punish it. I can't kill it immediately. Alright, we have to pass and hopefully consider into something. Yeah, well, I'm going to cast Consider. Get rid of my 3rd land because I need something better than that. And I brick anyway, and the game is over. Yeah, they're going to cast some spell. And it doesn't even matter if I counter it. Like, even if I counter it, it's still like +3 damage. Just move on to the next one. Let's see here. Prophetic Memory seems like overkill. Prismatic Command is technically burn, but it's not good enough. Third Path Iconoclast can make blockers. Sleight of Hand is sorcery speed removal. I don't know. Let's try it like this. I mean, we're going to lose this game just because, like, their deck is super good and mine is kind of mid. Alright, well, we have 2 removal spells and a Third Path Iconoclast. An opponent is mulliganed twice. Alright, this might go well for us. Now, we're not out of the woods yet, but they have mulliganed twice, and my hand is pretty good. Just take... I guess technically this doesn't save me any life this turn, but it will in the future. I'm so glad Shivan Reef is in this deck. It really helps against these aggressive decks, just to have a land that is going to lightning bolt me. They're on 1 land. I think we trade there. That trade is super, like, super risky if they hit the second land drop. But if they don't, then they have nothing. And we have stuff. Alright. I am going to cast my cantrips. Alright. And they concede. Yeah, that was just a very bad draw from them. Which it's good to know that that's possible. You know, I'm constantly struggling through bad draws. It's nice to see my opponents stumble in 1 out of 50 games. Alright, let's try to win against the red aggressive deck on the draw with our deck that is notably bad against aggressive decks. I guess we keep the 1-lander and just hope to get lucky. So now is the awkward part where we want to cast a cantrip, but we're also probably going to want to kill something. Alright, well I can't... I would have to lightning axe that. I think I take 2. This hand probably should have been a mulligan. The fact that it's Shivan Reef specifically is just so bad. We hit a true red source, so that's nice. But we need to cantrip again because Anger of the Gods is the only thing that's going to save us from this. Alright, well... I guess we... Well, that was stupid of them. I mean, they could have given one of these things double strike, but they just, I guess, decided not to. I need to save 2 life. I'm going to play that purely as a gain 2. And hopefully consider into a 3rd land and wrath their board. Alright, we hit the 3rd land. We cast Anger of the Gods, taking another damage. Thank you, Shivan Reef. Very cool. I need to cut that card. It is just so abysmal. They have an Everheart Challenger. Alright, I really need to cut Shivan Reef for literally like a basic island. Or maybe a basic mountain. Or maybe even literally like a... Maybe even literally Izzet Guildgate would be better than this stupid card. I shouldn't have let them attack. That was stupid. I was talking to myself and not thinking. And now they have a 1/1. It's stupid freaking Shivan Reef. Shivan Reef's gotta be the worst card in my deck by a huge amount. Like, it is just so atrocious every single... It's never good. Alright, I'm going to play a 1/3 Vigilance creature. And they can go blank. I will keep the Pheonix in hand. What did they get out of my... Did they get a Pheonix with that? No. Alright, well, I'll block, obviously. Monstrous Rage. Of course they had Monstrous Rage. Okay. Pheonix on defense. They have double Ramanap Ruins. Double Ramanap Ruins is probably unbeatable. Alright, they considered attacking, decided against it. I'm going to attack now that I have a blocker. So hopefully having a clock will do something. Alright, so this is looking like another Monstrous Rage. Infuriate, that's even worse. And I'm dead to Ramanap Ruins. Oh, red aggressive decks, please. Imagine if I had like literally 4 more life from the stupid Shivan Reef being a basic mountain. Or like an Izzet Guildgate or something. Imagine like how much closer I would be to winning that game. And I just queued up without changing it. I am a fool. Actually, I'm gonna change it. All right. All right. Show me lands. The tap for blue and red. All right. Let's see. We could go Jawari Disruption. We could go second Otawara. Do Hall of the Storm Giants, actually. Hall of the Storm Giants is actually like a card that people play in these decks. So we're going down a red source, but that's probably fine. Are there any like reasonable untapped? Sulfur Falls, I guess, but no. No, we're just doing Hall of Storm Giants. -1 red source. Probably gonna lose a bunch of games because I don't have red mana, but whatever. Better than losing a bunch of games because I'm taking like 5 damage off of this stupid Shivan Reef. This hand kind of sucks. This hand is not exciting. But at least it's got a variety of different things. Like a cantrip would turn this into a good hand. I think second Treasure Cruise is probably unnecessary. We don't have good cantrips, so it's going to be hard to get to first Treasure Cruise, much less second one. Opponent is thinking. Alright, well, we're going to play a blue source, leave up Spell Pierce. Hello. Alright. We're going to play a red source, play Prophetic Memory, draw a card. And opponent is playing Golgari, probably Roots. I guess that's the Golgari deck. Thoughtseize, take my Treasure Cruise. Alright, that's pretty good. Steam Vent's tapped. At least I got the Prophetic Memory in play. Innkeeper's Talent. Oh, so this is going to be the Vraska combo deck. Got it. Just do not let them combo if I can at all help it. Alright. Attack. They're playing very slowly, like they have a removal spell and they're not sure if they want to use it. Restless Cottage is Graveyard Hate. Okay, Shieldred, of course. Well, it could be worse. We can free the Fae, hopefully hit a Lightning Axe. Okay, well, it could be worse. We can Sleight of Hand, hopefully hit a Lightning Axe. Well, it could be worse. We can attack for 3. Play out a little guy. And we can Flood Maw the Shieldred in untap. Upkeep, rather. We can Flood Maw the Shieldred in upkeep so that it doesn't burn us for more. But we do actually need like a way of dealing with it permanently, which we've so far not been able to figure out. Opponent is playing slow. Opponent is playing very slow. Please, opponent, play more quickly. We got places to be. They've used a timeout. Alright, well, while my opponent is slow playing, I'll make sure to follow for more thrilling content of waiting for an opponent to slowly rope. That's the content you're looking for, right? Just sitting here doing nothing? Feels like it's always the bronze players. I don't know if that's true. Alright, we're going to Flood Maw the Shieldred. I'm not even sure if they're here or not. Imagine going to like a real paper Magic game and just, you know, wandering away from the table, you know, just leaving for like a minute or two, not being there, while your opponent sits there waiting for their tournament round to finish. That seems like that wouldn't be very fun. Well, there's another timeout. Draw another land. Play a tap land. Attack for a bunch. Now we get to wait for opponent to timeout again. Yep. here we are. Just waiting. Accomplishing nothing. Alright, now say what you will about, like, you know, fighting games and stuff. At least in fighting games, if your opponent wanders away, you just, like, kill them. Like, you just knock them off the stage 3 times and then it's over. Like, you don't have to sit here for minutes on end waiting. Maybe they'll come back. They didn't come back after 2 minutes. Maybe they'll come back after 3 minutes. Alright. There we go. Through that. And we ranked up to gold 2. Yippee! What a deserved win. Alright. And another one. Hopefully an opponent will actually show up to play the game of Magic the Gathering Explorer Best of 3. Alright. Found an opponent. Yeah, this is fine. We've got plenty of interaction. Fervent Champion. Now there's a name I haven't seen in a long time. Good old Javier Dominguez. Burning Tree Emissary. They're going to use that mana to cast nothing. Well, that's good for me, at least. Single Burning Tree Emissary as a literal grizzly bear. Not super threatening. I probably should have played the Hollow Storm Giants. This was its only chance to enter untapped. Anax Hardened in the Forge. Well, shoot. I guess we have to kill the Anax. And Picklock Prankster is a lot of... I guess Artist Talent is a lot of mana for doing literally nothing. Alright, well... Opponent is playing old school red aggro. Probably a returning player after a break. I'm going to eat one of the 1/1s. And take a bunch of damage. Alright, Torch the Tower is great. I think we pass now. So hopefully they'll make another similar attack. And Torch the Tower can make it very bad for them. Alright, Lightning Strike at the Picklock Prankster is probably better for me than going at my face. I'm going to exile the Burning Tree Emissary. Take 1. I don't think we need a 4th land. I think we need gas. Like Into the Flood Maw to kill their 1/1. That could help. Please just activate Castle Embereth. Wonderful. Just beautiful. Alright. Creature go bye-bye. Spell Pierce, be something helpful. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to consider looking for a land drop, or I guess Picklock Prankster is good. I'll hold that up. Robber of the Rich. Probably activate Den of the Bugbear as well. Alright, I'm just going to kill the Den. And take 2. Gosh, this brings... Oh. They've exiled one of my Pheonixes. Lovely. Alright. Well, I think we take a 4th land here. So yeah, I guess that Pheonix is just gone forever. Very cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We top deck a Treasure Cruise. Keep Picklock Prankster for its potential as a blocker. Alright, sleight of hand. So now we're going to be putting the Pheonix away. Consider gives us the option to hit a burn spell. Like a lightning axe, for example. Alright, Pheonix comes back. We're going to attack. That has haste. That is reach for some unknowable reason. I think we kill that proactively. Getting rid of Artist's Talent. And I think we just want our 2 Picklock Pranksters. So this red aggressive deck is much less scary, at least so far, than the more up-to-date version. I think we get rid of Spell Pierce. Alright, there's a Pheonix in the yard and a Treasure Cruise in the yard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We attacked, so I guess this isn't going to amount to anything, but we're not going to get a Pheonix back, is what I mean by that. Yeah, I think we pass here and get our new Pheonix back next turn. And they're just going to have to be sacking Ramanap Ruins. Alright, this is 1 spell. Now I need to be careful not to deck myself. It is a real possibility somehow. Okay, Proph's Eidetic Memory is great. I'm going to run that out. And draw a couple more cards. Draw a couple more cards. Play another land. Draw a couple more cards. They might be dead this turn. I would be surprised if they were dead this turn, but it's definitely possible. Another Arclight Pheonix. No way to get it in the bin, though. Alright. Giant Pheonix plus additional Pheonix. Alright, they have Lightning Strike for that. Which means basically they're playing to not lose. Because if that is not going at my face, and it's just trying to preserve their life total, the game is effectively over. Like, I'm still at 9. This puts me to 7, which is notably not 0. I'm just going to get my stuff back next turn. Hardcast Embercleave. Treasure Cruise. I believe Treasure Cruise is GG. 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Opponent is conceded. I also have the Hollow Storm Giants. Alright, so they're playing a red aggressive deck. So let's bring in our anti-red aggressive stuff. Prismari Command might be quick enough versus them. They have Embercleave. and Anax. So Annul is actually good. Spell Pierce is bad because mostly creatures. Sleight of Hand is bad because sorcery speed. Actually, probably Artist's Talent. We can cut like 2 of those for Iconoclasts just to make infinite chump blockers. I don't know. Sideboarding is hard. I think I have like a general idea of how I sideboard, but I don't know if it's right. Alright, so this is where we get into trouble with not having red sources. I'm going to keep this anyway. Like, this is a cantrip deck. It'll probably be fine. I think we just annul that. Just take our 1-for-1 on an otherwise extremely annoying card. Robber of the Rich. Can't do much about that. They get a 3rd Path Iconoclast. That's rude. I think I consider here, because I'm looking for a land and Picklock Prankster can't get me a land. That's beautiful. Alright. I think we deal 2 to that. We loot 2. So do they have a combat trick or something? No. Alright, so Pheonix obviously goes. Probably 2nd Picklock Prankster goes. They're just going to run out of Sokenzan. Alright. So I think we take this opportunity to play Artist's Talent and Steam Vents untapped. I don't like taking life, but I do like having red mana available for Fiery Impulse or Lightning Axe. And if they don't do anything, then I can Picklock Prankster. Alright, that is risky to kill because of prowess. I'll let... Yeah, if they're just going to deal 1, that's fine. I think we get rid of Lightning Axe. It's hard to say because that is the one that can consistently deal with the Swift Spear. Alright, 3rd Path Iconoclast is great. So they're going to have a real bear of a time getting through this. 5, 6, 7. Treasure Cruise. Give me a blocker and 3 cards. Alright, well, if they're going to kill my guy in response, I'm going to make a bunch of 1/1s in response. And cast a Consider to make another 1/1. And I don't think we need a land. Anger of the Gods could end up being good. We'll keep that because it's like reasonably likely to be relevant. We even get a Pheonix back randomly. Not sure when that happened, but we'll take it. I guess I did, right? Treasure Cruise plus the 2 spells that I just burned out of my hand. Pretty cool. Do I try to cantrip chain, or do I think I just hardcast the stupid Pheonix so that it's just 100% in play. Another Lightning Strike going to another creature. They cannot do that. The deck does not function like that. They will simply lose. So I would... If I had taken 6 from those 2 Lightning Strikes, I would be at 9. I would be at 7. Yeah, I mean, you could argue they have to do it, right? Because my clock is just too fast, but I think at that point they've just lost and haven't admitted it yet. Well, I'm going to draw a bunch of cards if you don't mind. 5, 6, 7. Skip over the Arclight Phoenixes. Pass on the Spire Bluff Canal. And a random opt. I'll take more burn. Yeah, I'll just attack. I guess the 1/1s can be on blocking. And I'll play out a Picklock Prankster. And they are super dead. It probably, like... It's tough to say. They probably would have died a turn earlier if not for the removal they used. But like, does that really... Is that what you're playing for? Like, dying on turn 5 as opposed to 6? Like... Or I guess it was probably 7? I don't know what turn it was, but you get my point, right? Like, ooh, Assassin's Trophy. Like, you cannot, as red aggro, be sitting down and extending the game. Like, you just have to point the burn spell's face. Like, you point the burn spells at creatures when it gets rid of blockers, so you can attack them for more damage over the course of the next turn or two. You do not point the burn spells at creatures when the creatures are just tapped and attacking. It just doesn't work that way. Alright, this is a 1-lander on the draw with 2 cantrips. Instantly rewarded. Opponent is playing Rakdos. Is it aggro or mid-range? Looks like mid-range. That's an artifact creature, correct. Now it is a graveyard artifact creature. Alright. We have 3 opts in hand, 2 different arts, which is somewhat amusing, but... Unholy Annex, get out of here. No Unholy Annex for you. Cast the opt, get the 3rd land drop. Excellent. Nothing exciting in graveyard, just gonna pass the turn. Opponent does nothing. I will Picklock Prankster. I have infinite cantrips already. I'm going to take the one that's different. I guess I need to hit a land drop. That's a tap land, which is fine. I'm going to pass again. I want to be able to torch the Mutavault if they fire it up. And they are just channeling Broken Zen. Okay, that's not what you want to see on turn 4. Blood Tithe Harvester makes a blood and instantly dies. Let's opt. I would like to hit a 5th land. It's always nice to hit land drops. Alright, 5th land found. I'm going to run out of 1/3. And a 5th land. I guess this is a sorcery speed cantrip, so I'll have to cast it now. Ooh, Propsydetic Memory. That's quite good. That's not worth tapping out over. But, yeah, okay. Fatal Push, my thing. Kind of annoying, but not a huge deal. Still at 16. They're firing up Mutavault. Well, I would love to destroy one of your only 4 lands. And take 2. Alright, they have backup Mutavault. Well, I'm going to play out some sorcery speed stuff this turn. Propsydetic Memory and Artist's Talent, I guess. So we're going to sleight of hand next turn. Do we have a Pheonix in the bin? No, somehow. Alright, this Mutavault firing up will connect. Actually, I can... I can bounce that. Is that good? Yeah, probably not. Is it funny? Absolutely. So yeah, they can replay it. That's fine. The important thing was that it was very funny. I have my own Sokinzan. It looks like I'm going to channel it. Yikes. Alright. You might have 2 2/2s, but I have... You may have 2 1/1s. I have a 1/1 and a 2/2. How do you feel about that, opponent? My Sokinzan channel is more efficient than yours. Alright, yep, Fatal Push. That makes sense. Their deck has a whole bunch of removal, and I have not been presenting many targets this game. Right. Can't pay the additional cost on Lightning Axe, unfortunately. Alright, they have yet another Mutavault. I can pay the full mana Lightning Axe to not have to discard something, which lets me rummage through this Otawara. So that's pretty cool. Alright, yep. They can Blood Token. I am, like, slowly bleeding away. I cannot do this forever. Pay a billion mana to kill the Mutavault. Alright, another Pheonix. That's a start. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is... Alright. Treasure Cruise is the haymaker we were waiting on. 6, 7... So now we are no longer low on gas. I think we can probably get Phoenixes back this turn. Maybe not, but... Another Treasure Cruise as the third spell. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We even have Hall of the Storm Giants and a Flood Maw. But I think we play the Pheonix, so we have a target for Propsydetic Memory. And I'm going to attack you for 12 and have 2 blockers. You are super dead if you do not have an answer. So let's see here. Another Blood Tithe Harvester goes away. Yeah. Propsydetic Memory, when it pops off hard. Alright, so they are going to have Graveyard Hate. And it's going to be unlicensed hearse, probably. So bringing in all that stuff. And they have a fair amount of smallish creatures, so Anger the Gods is good. Floodmaw is kind of mid, but it is good against Graveyard Hate. It's good against the demons from their NX, so I think we actually have to keep it. This is the problem, right? Where you have 8 cards in and like actual 0 cards out. Lightning Axe has to stay in for Shieldred. Fiery Impulses need to stay in for their small creatures. I guess Spell Pierce can go. It's worse than a Null because a lot of their enchantments are like enchantment creatures, like what's it called? And also because they could pay for it, obviously. If they have Graveyard Hate, Anger the Gods is probably not that great. They normally have like 1 or 2 small creatures, not a bunch. And I guess we got Sleight of Hand because it's a bad cantrip. Sideboarding is hard. You'd think after playing this deck for so long I would have a good idea of how to sideboard against like the most popular deck in the format, but I don't. This is barely a keep. Throw back Lightning Axe. Duress is brutal. They're not going to have artifacts or enchantments on turn 2 unless it's Fear of Missing Out. Oh, Urborg. I was wondering why this was gold. Because they have an Urborg in play, of course. We're going to Shotgun and Steam Vents. And Urborg has the fun little side value of making it really hard to tell what your stupid lands do. Alright, let's kill the Blood Tithe Harvester. Don't want to deal with that. Now, let's see what they do. They just jam out land Unholy Annex into my Annul. Do they play another Blood Tithe Harvester? Tap land FOMO. I think I'm fine with letting the FOMO resolve. Annul is too valuable to be used on that. I will consider. Grab my 3rd land. And a Lightning Axe. I think that land can be tapped. It's technically possible I might want to Annul, Floodmaw, and Lightning Axe all this turn, but seems unlikely. And then they can attack for 2. I guess Lightning Axe could be one of the 3 spells on a future turn to get a Pheonix back. Alright, no, we get a Fiery Impulse, which is much better. Now, we do not have lands, which is quite bad for me. Opponent has blood tokened away a land, must be nice. Alright. I am going to Fiery Impulse that. Just not take 2 damage a turn for the rest of the game. Alright. Blood Tithe Harvester. I'll play another tap land, which is much better than no land. And much worse than an untapped land, of course. Alright, they can attack the Mutavault. I'm going to Lightning Axe the Mutavault. You get out of here. Goodbye, Pheonix. So I missed a land drop, but they got wastelanded. And I guess while we're at it, I will tempo their Harvester to not take 3. Literally just 1 blue gain 3 life. Ooh, Fable. I will counter that any day of the week. Alright, so I'm hoping to chain cantrips together. Treasure Cruise is fantastic. Third path going to the graveyard is less fantastic, but still fine. Well, I guess I am giving them a fish for this blood because I need to cast 3 spells. It's the only reason. Alright, I got a Pheonix back, and I managed to even resolve Treasure Cruise and get another Treasure Cruise in hand. Alright, Pheonix exiled. That's quite bad. A second Fable. Also pretty bad. I'm going to cast a Treasure Cruise for... No, what? All of them, obviously. And Picklock Prankster. At least I have a 1/3 blocker. Man, all these Treasure Cruises, it's not feeling like I'm drawing 3 cards. It feels like I'm drawing 1 or 2 cards. I'll eat the fish. Take 2 damage this turn, but save a damage for future turns, probably. Alright, they're playing out Ritual Chamber. This would be a great time for a Flood Maw. How about, yo dog, I heard you like Picklock Pranksters. Alright, well, Prismari Command can put the Pheonix in the bin. So I'll kill that. Draw 2, discard 2. So the good news is they cannot attack with their 6/6 this turn. And the bad news is I'm kind of cooked to Unholy Annex. I have another Treasure Cruise, which again could dig me out of this if I'm lucky. Yep. Just unlocking the other door. I'm through both Flood Maws actually, so that's awkward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I could just like Lightning Axe. Alright. I want to get Hall of the Storm Giant in play. And I guess the play here is Lightning Axe, the Demon, discard Opt, Prismari Command, the Demon, deal 2 damage to that, and I can draw 2, discard 2. Alright, well, that's fine. We're keeping Prop's Eidetic Memory. And immediately casting it. So now we just hope that they do not have a Mutavault, and this Unholy Annex is going to be painful for them. Alright. They have the Fatal Push, which is certainly very good for them. We still are attacking for 6. We still have Hollow the Storm Giants even. That's fun. So they need to chump block the Hall. Alright. Thoughtseize is costing them life they might not have. Alright, so that's pretty good for them. They can get rid of a Pheonix like that. Unless I get lucky. I might get lucky here. Consider into consider. And we consider into Fire Impulse, and they're dead, right? Wait, do I have the mana to fire up the Hall? No. But I don't. They're going to 1. And they need a demon. Is there any way I could have dealt 1 additional point of damage at any point? I don't think so. Alright, they do have a demon, but they're going to need something more than that. They're going to need like a Deadly Cover-Up as well. But no, they can't because Deadly Cover-Up is 5 mana. Yeah. So yeah, if they had had Deadly Cover-Up, they wouldn't have the mana to fire up the Mutavault, and they would have died to their Unholy Annex. It was a good game. That was game 2. I do not remember that being game 2. Oh, and yeah, I guess it was, because I had my sideboard cards in, yeah. Alright, let's see. We have a decent shot at a good treasure cruise early. Oh, this is Bring Delight, though. Playing Yorion, the Sky Nomad, which means I lose. Like, unless this is like a different Yorion deck, I actually just can't beat this. I guess I will kill their 1/1. Second Picklock Prankster means definitely going to have an early treasure cruise, but no, this is not Bring to Niv. Alright, this is what? Tokens? Black-white tokens, I guess? Black-white self-bounce. I don't know what to call it, but alright. We got a Fiery Impulse. I'm going to kill the Pixie while they are tapped out. And play a 1/3 blocker. I have no idea what they're doing, but seems like if they have a 1/1 token, having a 1/3 blocker makes sense. They have another Pixie to just keep doing this. Alright, the good news is their attacks are kind of terrible. So they are going to get to flip the Legion's Landing at the cost of either both of these vampires or the Pixie. They probably want to do that to get ramp. But what is going on here? Like, what are they cooking? That's what I want to know. Add Yorion to hand. Pass through combat. Well, I was not expecting add Yorion to hand, pass through combat. That's for sure. Right, 6. Well, I'm just going to draw 3 cards. And kill another pixie. And get rid of a token. So draw 3 cards, kill a pixie, get rid of a token. That's 3 spells for the turn. Pheonix comes back. I don't know what opponent is doing, but it doesn't seem very strong so far. Alright, Vanishing Verse. I still don't understand what their game plan is. Like, surely it is not just create Legion's Landing tokens. Surely just creating a bunch of tokens off of Legion's Landing and Vanishing Pixie is not the play that they are trying to make. I guess I'll Sleight of Hand first. I could hit a Pheonix and then I would want to Lightning Axe. I grab 4th Picklock Prankster, just casually. Alright. If whatever you're doing really relies on having 1/1 vampire tokens, you don't get them. So I don't have much of a clock, which is arguably a good thing because I want to see them do something. I want my opponent to cast spells and like so that I know what is going on over there. Alright, almost a brick there. Sleight of Hand gets opt. I need to just keep cantrips chaining together. Yep. Fatal Push 1 Picklock Prankster is not the end of the world. Didn't have much of a clock before. Absolutely don't have much of a clock now, but yeah, okay. They've conceded. And what, like... Alright, it looks like they were doing some sort of tokens. Are they trying to like bring Esper's Self-Bounce to Explorer? I do not understand what my opponent is trying to achieve. Like, genuinely no clue. I don't know, I'll trim some random cards for Anger of the Gods because they're probably a go-wide strategy. And other than that, we're just going to go to game 2. And if we win, we don't have to worry about it. If we lose, we'll at least know what we lose to. Alright, we can keep this. We've got cantrips, we've got artist talents. Alright, so that is a thing. I think I Sleight of Hand, just grab an untapped land, I guess. Alright, they have Rest in Peace, which is worrying. But I have Flood Maw, which can get me out of that. And what are they like? In it, just an enchantment ETB deck? Are they like Esper Enchantress? Vanishing Verse. Alright, once again, I genuinely do not understand what they are trying to achieve. Spire Bluff Canal, go. So this Flood Maw is dedicated specifically to Rest in Peace. I will not use it on anything else no matter what. Alright, backup Flood Maw means I might use that on something else. But I'd still rather not. Opponent is just attacking for 2 over and over again. I should have played the Steam Vents. I should... Hopeless Nightmare. Yeah, that's fine. I have cards to discard. Alright, so that has to resolve first. Then I can discard my Steam Vents. So yeah, I guess they are some sort of Enchantress deck. Alright, I'm going to Spell Pierce that. And then Anger of the Gods away these two creatures, which means taking 3 this turn. And I guess run out Artist's Talent. Probably not going to need to Floodmouth something super urgently. Alright, another Vanishing Verse. Honestly, just glad to see those hitting Artist's Talents instead of Pheonixes. And now we are well and truly in draw go territory, it looks like. Alright, they add Yorion to their hand. I will play a land. And I guess we fire up all of the Storm Giants and attack them for 7. Ward 3, pretty cool. Alright, so that is countered? Ward, what? Yeah? That should have worked, right? Oh, got it. That was the big red circle of no saying that my ward ability didn't trigger, because they're still at 14 here. Well. Alright. They fatal push my Hall. The Storm Giants feel bad, man. Ah, what a game, what a game. What a game. Legion's Landing, create a 1/1. Very cool. So I'm up to 7 mana, which means next turn I can full cost Treasure Cruise, which is interesting. I'm going to kill a 1/1. I still do not understand what they're doing. Like, it genuinely makes no sense. And we pass again. I guess it is just like Enchantress with Optimistic Scavenger. Oh, what fun interactive back and forth gameplay. I guess I take an Artist's Talent. But this turn I hardcast Treasure Cruise. I draw 2 more Treasure Cruises to hardcast. God, what a game. What a game, what a game, what a game. Alright, I am tapped out. Opponent, please do anything so that I can comprehend your machinations. Like, genuinely, what are you cooking? Alright, Picklock Prankster. Picklock Prankster is a win con. So, I should have played Artist Talent, probably. No, I have more than enough mana. I can do it all next turn. Alright, so here's the plan. We Floodmaw, rest in peace. And we untap Artist Talent, Picklock Prankster. I still have 33 cards in my deck. This is perfectly safe. Discard a Pheonix. Mill 4, grab Anger of the Gods, I guess. We opt. Spare Treasure Cruise. Looking to try to get more Phoenixes. So let's free the Fae again. We don't need this opt. Alright, we do get a second Pheonix in the bin. Now we Treasure Cruise while we have the chance before the Rest in Peace comes back. And if we hit another Pheonix, we will consider. Otherwise, we will just go to combat, get our guys back, and start closing out this game finally. Alright. They are doing this town ain't big enough. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna kill a Pheonix. But I still have a Pheonix, which is a 3-power attacker. And we run our Picklock Prankster. And say your go. That emoting there was toxic. I shouldn't have done that. That was unnecessary. Alright, so the bad news is I have 17 cards in library. The good news is I guess they can know where to run me again. And that's kind of annoying. Yeah, this nowhere to run plus Rest in Peace has certainly gotten rid of my Phoenixes. Well, the good news is I can Lightning Axe the Yorion and decline because I might need time to win. I assume at this point Prophetic Memory is gone. Actually, let's check. Prophetic Memory, are you in here? No, it isn't. Alright, we have 2 Picklock Pranksters. They can cycle a Raffine's Tower. Storm Chaser's Talent gives them a 1/1, and they can probably almost instantly level it up. Let me guess, nowhere to run? Yep. Certainly. I think we might lose this. Yeah, I think we're gonna lose this. But it's not over yet. We need to hit a Prophetic Memory. So next turn, we can probably draw the rest of our deck. Prophetic Memory and maybe win? That doesn't have Flash. Leveling up that up to 2 does nothing. Alright. Let's start going here. So we need to deal 12, which is easily doable with a Prophetic Memory if we can find it. But it is impossible without one. So let's hope I didn't make a mistake and there are indeed a Prophetic Memory in my deck still. Is indeed, obviously. Um. No, that's not a Prophylatic Memory. There's a Prophylatic Memory. Alright, cool. So now we just have to draw almost but not quite the rest of our deck. And none of these are utility lands. That can create a 1/1 with lifelink, which doesn't matter. Alright, second Pheonix. Treasure Cruise is unplayable. So I still want to cast one Pheonix because that adds 3. So I guess one more Consider. Get rid of Annul. Draw a card. 2 cards left in the library. Play an Arclight Pheonix. Attack you for probably more than 12. And if it isn't, then we just have to live. Yeah, it's 11. Alright. Oh, that was... I don't know. Opponent's deck was not an Explorer deck, but it certainly put up an interesting fight in Game 2. Ooh, I got a Foundations pack. And I cast a billion creature spells. Let's see what my Foundations packs have in them. When did I get 3? I opened them like just a moment ago. Thank you, Thousand Year Storm. Very cool. Mythic Wild Card. Actually worse than a rare wild card at the moment. A Braid is nice. Painful Quandary. Not particularly playable. Alright. Well, we got some progression towards our next wild card at least. Let's do one more, and then that'll be that for today. It's not great. It's more lands than I would like, but it's got a cantrip, it's got a removal spell, it's got a Pheonix. I would not be surprised to lose this game. And if I do lose this game, it'll probably be because of the keep. But, oh, we're playing against tempo. Alright, well, it's tempo, so we just kill everything immediately. Easy enough. I think our deck probably... I think we played against tempo previously, and it was, like, not even close we obliterated them, because our spells don't need to resolve to get 3/2s in play. So let's hope that that remains true. And also that we don't draw a whole bunch of lands. Treasure Cruise is going to be dicey here. Obviously it'll be great if I can cast it for 1. Empyrean Eagle. Alright, so this isn't quite tempo, it's more just flyers. Well, I'm going to get a Pheonix in play and start attacking back. I don't think trying to block is reliable against this deck. No, not with Sheltered by Ghosts around. So we're going to need to get rid of the Imperial Eagle even more than before. Show me a Lightning Axe. Show me a Lightning Axe. Fire Impulse. Fine. So this will, I guess... It won't even get rid of the Eagle. It'll just get rid of the Siren Storm Tamer. Because they have a blue mana up. Alright, well next turn I can Treasure Cruise. Next turn I can Treasure Cruise and try to find something better. I'm going to 10, which is not a lot. They're at 23, which is a lot. They play Spyglass Siren, which doesn't really matter. One, two, three, four, five, six. Pay 2 for the Treasure Cruise. And we need 1 mana removal off of this. Alright, Lofty Denial. I guess I'll play a Pheonix on blocking duty. He said duty. I guess I'll play a Pheonix on blocking, and maybe if they're dumb, they'll trade. But more likely is we just get run over here. Yeah, so now it's even a 4/4, so I can't even block and trade. And another Sheltered by Ghosts. So now it's Ward 2, Ward 2. Alright, so I'm at 3. I need exactly Lava Axe. Nope. Not Lava Axe, Lightning Axe, obviously. Alright, so obviously, Anger the Gods in, Fire Impulse in, Mystical Dispute in, Brazen Borrower in, and then as far as outs, I guess Annul probably in as well. They have Sheltered by Ghosts. They probably also have like Curious Obsession or something. Flood Moss seems bad. They have a whole lot of like flash creature type stuff. Sleight of Hand is embarrassing. Artist's Talent is kind of bad. Yeah, I guess just trim. I'm not super convinced Brazen Borrower is good. We'll trim one of those. And the plan really is Anger of the Gods plus creatures to block afterwards. Anger is kind of dicey against them, obviously. They have counter magic. It's a 3-mana spell. You do the math. But if it works, and I have my own counter magic to protect it, if it works, it's great. Maybe I could have considered cutting Spell Pierce, because a lot of their stuff is creatures, but the counter magic isn't going to be creatures, and I want to fight over that. Alright, this is great. We're just going to shock in Steam Vents on one. And either Fire Impulse. Yeah, I think we can let that hit the board and Fire Impulse it immediately. They can have their map token. So ideally we will just run out, like their deck is threats and protection for the threats. If we can run them out of protection for the threats, then we can win pretty easily. Also Hall of Storm Giants, pretty decent against them. Alright, well, they're going to run out of creature, I'm going to counter it. Weathered Runestone, I will annul that. That's graveyard hate of some variety. Fairy Miscreant. The old 1-mana 1/1. Alright, well I'm going to take this opportunity to get an Artist's Talent down. So they have successfully gotten a creature onto the board for more than a turn. Looks like they are more flyers than flash flyers. Alright, can I beat a 2-power flying attacker? These are the questions. I think I just level up Artist's Talent here. I'll give a discount on both spells in my hand currently. And I don't want to just jam either of these spells into their open mana if I can help it. They're shocking. So that tells me a lot. Okay. I think it tells me to pass. And they're probably going to flash something in? No, they just shocked for fun. Alright, Curious Obsession. I'm going to full cost Lightning Axe this. And not discard either of the cards in hand to Artist's Talent. They're going to defend it. And then hopefully we can stop them later. Alright, Dovin's Veto. Alright, hopefully that is their only protection for this. If they only draw one card off the Curious Obsession, it's not so bad. So I'm playing around like counter unless you pay 3. Alright, slip out the back. Very good for them. Now I should be able to, unless they also have a Mystic Dispute on top of all that. No, even Mystic Dispute is fine. Alright, double Lightning Axe is great. Now, unfortunately, I do not have red mana to activate it, which means they're going to get to connect. Which is a problem, but it's not insurmountable. And they are tapping a lot of mana to set up the Spyglass Siren. Alright, well let's Lightning Axe, additional cost, discard a card. And the card we discard can be the Pheonix. Alright, this is technically kind of risky, but no, pays off. You got the Spell Pierce. Okay. That is fine. We can we discard the Spell Pierce to kill that anyway. I guess I could have paid mana for that and it would have worked out. So their Curious Obsession threat is gone. They still have a Spyglass Siren. And I still don't have much of anything. They can make this a 3-power lifelinking attacker. Oh, they have Curious Obsession as well. So they could get rid of my Artist Talent here, I guess. Alright. Alright, Surveil, give me something good. Consider into a Consider. And then I can consider into hopefully another castable spell. Picklock Prankster is fine. So now I'm getting a Pheonix back. So I'm getting a Pheonix back. I just need a removal spell for this Spyglass Siren. Oh. Will this work? Who knows? Have to try. It does work, and they concede. All right, that was a close game. I think I'm fine with my sideboarding. I'm just gonna have to do it a second time, which seems a second time on the draw this time, which seems difficult. Certainly does not seem easy. Right. I mean, we have castable spells. We have a removal spell. Tap land, I guess. I don't like this. Weathered Runestone. Alright, so permanents in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. It's pretty annoying. It's not, like, completely over. I have ways of bouncing that for the correct moment, I think. I have ways of bouncing that. I can't remember. I might have sideboarded them out. And I also can just, like, cast spells. Alright, how about I don't take 2 here? Alright, well, they've run out a second guy to protect the first one. Please give me an Anger of the Gods. Don't need lands, I need Anger of the Gods. So this is the last time that'll ever enter untapped. But I think this game is over. I think we just don't have the answers. And our opponent is going to be able to protect these threats all the way to the finish line. Let's see, so that doesn't affect Picklock Prankster at all. But Dovin's Veto sure does. Yikes. Well, let's consider. Spell Pierce is too late, I think. Treasure Cruise is fine. I'm gonna have to tap out for it, but draw 3 never hurt anyone. It's kind of a bad draw 3. Don't love that. At least I have a Mystical Dispute, so if they don't have another Dovin's Veto, a theoretical Anger of the Gods off the top might work. But I think even then I'll just die to the Restless Anchorage. Alright, they're shocking to hold up mana. No, they're map tokening onto the Restless Anchorage. Alright, well, while they're tapped out, I will kill one of their things. And I have Otawara, which is, technically speaking, an answer to the Weathered Runestone, but is more likely I'm going to have to use it to not die, and then I'll die the next turn anyway. Yeah, they're attacking for 5 here. Yeah, I don't think there's a single draw in my deck that gets me out of this. Prophecytic Memory doesn't, I don't think. Alright, well, good game. Yeah, tempo is very fun when it's like close interactive games, and very depressing when that happens. Alright. Well, I think that's it for today. I Make sure to follow if you've been enjoying the content. And I will be back tomorrow for more Satisfactory and Thursday for more Magic the Gathering. So yes.